phenomenal.
with him because he's swearing.
I did my PhD, my bachelor's on this. Part of the system that lets you look at the DNA and the genetic evolutions in different species, and so you can see that sequences have survived in like all of these different species, and they have like gone on to like persist in the timeline.
That's your assumption.
No, it's not an assumption. That's exactly what it isn't. Because if it was wrong, then people would go.
What have you observed? What have you observed? Just let's bring this evolution. I mean, this,
What have I
this
observed in
friend of
class?
ours has done a bachelor's degree on the subject, right? No.
No,
We're
dude,
talking about someone who knows who's
No,
the subject.
dude, it's not about what I know. It's about the principle of science, right? If they came tomorrow and they said, oh, we were completely wrong about blast.
What
it was
have you
wrong.
observed?
No, let me tell you something. The difference between your ideology and mine is that I don't have a belief system. I'm not believing in anything. I don't have any faith in science.
We're not talking
it's
about
a
that.
proof. That's what it is.
Look,
so
science
it's not the same
rests
thing.
on observation and experimentation.
Yes,
right.
absolutely. Correct.
So have we observed this wonderful complexity
Yes,
of...
we have.
Okay, what have we observed?
We have observed
That
the species that exist now have very, very similar and shared like genetic sequences, okay, which like links an origin to them, right? And when we go back, we can see that those species originate from even more simple things, okay? And when we go back, those species originate from chemical compounds and energy in the formation of the
you're
earth.
just putting your faith forward.
It's not faith.
When I say observation,
also,
look.
I just add to that, and also using computerized experiments, we see how through the process of evolution, really fast in computer, you can solve really complicated problems like learning. Machine learning is all about this, imagining things in a way that by design today is impossible to do by a process of evolution.
What have you observed?
So you have one species
Yeah.
evolved in another species.
No, that's not what I said.
Hang on. This is what we are talking about. The length and the breadth of our observation about this belief system that one species evolved into another species. And we have a common
That's
ancestor.
not what happened. They don't change. They don't turn into a different
Thank you.
species.
Bye.
You going? See you later. So, when you talk about evolution,
Yeah.
what does it entail?
Evolution.
Yeah.
Evolution is the very, very slow change of an organism over an extremely long period of time.
And it becomes another organism?
No, it doesn't become other organisms. Because of an environment, it adapts to suit that
Do you believe
environment.
in adaptation?
And as there is, yeah, of course, obviously. And as there's migration of animals from different places, they change to suit their environment. Like a giraffe has a really long neck because to get to the food and the trees around it, it has to, right? So only the giraffes with long legs breed. They're the only ones who are successful and have kids, and so that's passed down, right?
Okay. Have you learned about Lamarckism?
Sorry, say again.
Lamarckism.
Never heard of it. What's Lamarckism?
Right. The idea that giraffes are a long neck,
Yeah.
this has been debunked by scientists,
Giraffes
evolutionists.
haven't got long necks.
No, the
How's it been
idea that the giraffes
Yeah.
originally didn't have long necks. You had.
It's been debunked by science.
Let me tell you what the story, right? The story goes like this. You have all the species, like not too long necks, so they're having their meal from the grasses on the ground. The food is becoming scarcer and scarcer. They're up the tree. Now, how do you get those leaves from up the tree? So you need to elongate your neck. So over generations, you've got now longer and longer necks.
So you're agreeing with me?
No, that is debunked.
How? Okay, go on. So why?
Let me tell you what you don't.
Yeah, go on.
Haven't read.
How are you talking for 5 minutes and you haven't got your point?
I'm just telling you in a second.
Hurry up.
Right. Hurry up.
Yeah, please get to the point. You've just described giraffes. I know what they are.
No.
Can you tell me what your point
No,
is?
I thought this was your subject, and
Giraffes aren't my subject.
no, your subject on evolution and genetics.
Okay.
Good. You should have known that. It's a very basic.
I do
thing.
know that giraffes have long necks. Can you get to your point?
No. But you do know the idea that longer necks of giraffe came as a result of. That's what you described.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
This is blatantly
Great.
debunked.
Can you tell me how?
Yeah, I'm just telling you that.
Thank you.
Okay. So the idea was this. So you have to have longer necks and longer necks to reach
I know the idea. Please tell me how it was debunked.
I'll tell you how. So now, what happened was this. So these giraffes are getting longer necks. Okay. So when they have babies, do the giraffes feed their babies by picking the food into the mouth? They don't. So now the baby giraffes, which don't have longer necks, they are all wiped out.
All the baby giraffes are wiped out.
There's no food.
So then how are giraffes? Where do they come
Wait. Your so-called model that you need longer necks, but the thing is, you haven't passed on this information in your genes yet, right? So there's still giraffes, baby giraffes, with shorter necks,
And-
and they will die out.
You're right.
So you will not have any longer neck giraffes.
Absolutely. Yeah, we agree. So the genetic material in the longer giraffe survives.
I'm saying the genetic material didn't even pass on.
It did, because there were lots of different types of giraffes, some with long necks, some with short necks. And all the short neck ones, as you just said, they all died. So the only ones left had genetics that made their necks longer. So that was passed down, and that made their genetic makeup different from other animals, like horses that don't have long necks. So you see how two species could come from a similar origin. That's evolution, that's my point.
Your point is, you need to go and read about this debunking business
Okay.
against, which obviously you are not familiar with.
Yeah, okay.
Secondly, so all the other species that died out, right? Only the longer neck animals survived.
No, in that area, only the longer neck animals survived. Because in other areas, the trees were lower down. That's called adaptation.
So if you now flap your arms, are you going to grow wings? Why not?
Because my food doesn't come from the air.
Wait,
but if
wait.
only the food was in the air, then maybe
Wait.
we would find a way in a billion years.
Wait. So the giraffes,
Yeah.
how do they know they need to have
They
longer
don't
necks?
know. They
don't know.
They have
So
no
what
idea.
happened?
So what happens
What
is,
happened?
imagine a million giraffes. It's way too big a number, but imagine a million giraffes, right? And some areas have big trees, and some areas have small trees, right?
Sure.
And in the areas with the big trees, only the animals with long necks, only the giraffes with you know how I'm a bit taller than you, this guy's a bit taller than me. Only the tall giraffes were able to get to the food. So the shorter giraffes died and weren't able to have kids, right? So you know how when you have someone who's tall and someone who's tall and they have a baby and the kid's really tall? It's like that. So all the giraffes were trending upwards in neck length because that's where their food was.
No. How is the neck getting longer? Because it's all programmed in your genes,
How do
right?
people get taller when their parents are taller and they have kids?
Slow down. I thought you had a bachelor's degree.
I do. I do.
In genetics. Are you saying?
I'm not in genetics, in biomedical science.
In
but go on.
biomedical science,
Yeah.
are you saying you can become 18 foot tall?
No, I'm saying that in a million
Wait,
years
wait,
my
wait.
ancestors could.
Slow down. What's stopping you from having children 18 feet tall?
What's stopping me is that those children would have to have children many
What's
times.
stopping?
Nothing. Let me explain.
Nothing?
Yeah, let me tell you right now. If I had a child and that child had a child and that happened a million times,
anything heard
then
about-
that child at the end could be 18 foot tall, but not my kid.
Have you not-
It's a long period of time that this change happens
Have
over.
you not heard about genetics?
Can I ask you what you haven't heard about? Do you know what the vagus nerve is? Have you heard of the vagus nerve?
Slow down.
Have you heard of the vagus nerve?
Wait a second. Yes, I have.
What is it?
No, you
It's a
tell me.
nerve that goes from the heart to the brain and it controls your heart. Okay? In a giraffe, the vagus nerve goes the entire way down the neck, all the way up to the rib cage and back around the neck. Okay? It's like really long. And giraffes die all the time and have like
Fine.
genetic diseases and like
Right.
problems because their neck vagus bone is too long.
So-
Can I ask you something? If it was designed, why wouldn't the vagus neck just go straight down? Why would it do this huge loop? Is it perhaps because the necks were shorter once and the vagus nerve went straight through, but as it got longer and longer, the vagus nerve had to loop higher and higher and higher?
Slow down. What controls the height of your subsequent generation?
About 60 alleles.
Is the genes.
Yeah, about 60
right.
alleles.
So genes have already got programs of what your children's going to be, whether they're going to be 18 feet tall or
They
not.
increment certain things. It's not like
Wait,
it's,
come
it's
on.
more,
come
okay,
on,
it's
come
more,
on.
well, I'll give you the point.
In
It's more
the
complex.
genetic programming, it's
Yeah.
already there. If you have children with someone of your height, for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
you are surely not going to get a child who's 18 feet tall.
Okay, so-
The reason being, it's been programmed in the genes. The genes have been already programmed.
What if they were only 1 centimeter tall? That could happen.
Listen,
No, but that could happen, right? What if they're only 10 centimeters tall?
Excuse
My
me.
kid could be 10 centimeters taller than me,
Excuse me.
reasonably, right?
No, listen. Your children will have the genes from you and your partner.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
randomization and
Hang
mutation.
on. The
Hypersomatic mutation.
the genes control proteins, right? The gene controls.
They control the
lots
makeup
things.
of your body.
Good. The gene controls your height.
Many genes control your height, not one.
Good. So the genes are the ones responsible for your height determination.
Yes.
Good. So if they're already programmed to make you at a particular height, what would make it to become 18 feet tall?
Good question, right? Have you heard of hypersomatic mutation or crossing over? Do you know how diversity occurs? Yeah. So, no,
I
can
have
I answer your question? Because you just
heard of-
spent a while
so,
asking me a
so
question.
now, if you mate with
Right, fair enough.
anyone in the world, right?
Yeah.
Are you saying
That they could be
there's
18
a-
foot tall?
there's
No,
con-
never said.
Why not?
I'm saying they
Why
could,
not?
Because not enough time has passed for such incremental changes to your genetics to make that difference.
Mutation, look,
I
mutation
didn't
is...
say mutation. I said changes. Okay. Look, if my kid is 10 centimeters taller than me,
What's the
can
term
my
that you
kid
asked
can
me?
my kid be 10 centimeters taller than me?
Hang on.
Could my child be 10
Excuse
centimeters
me.
taller than me?
What is the
Yes,
term?
right? Yes. So
What
if
is
my
the
kid can be
term?
10 centimeters taller than me, then couldn't his kid be 10 centimeters taller than him?
What is the term
Or 1
that you-
centimeter?
What is the term that you asked me, have I heard before?
Yes, and it could be shorter
Brother,
as well.
excuse me.
Right, but if the environment benefited
Okay,
a
brother,
taller guy,
continue.
if the environment benefited a taller person, then maybe his kid who was shorter wouldn't be as successful, and only the taller people would keep going. We don't live in a world where height values our ability to have kids, which is why we're not all really tall. But giraffes do.
What is the term you asked me to consider, have I heard?
I didn't ask you to consider. Oh, a vagus nerve.
No, bit after that.
Well, I don't know. I've got no idea.
Anyone remember?
No, dude, because
What is the concept you said? Because when I-
variation. Was it variation?
Super what?
Oh, somatic hypermutation.
What's the last word?
Hypermutation.
What's the last word? Hyper?
Mutation.
Mutation.
Yeah.
So mutation.
It's not to do with
Slow down.
rays or anything like that.
Mutation.
Yeah. It just.
What is a mutation?
What it means is that okay. So you know how we all have like different blood types, and you know how like amongst children and their parents there can be different blood types.
Is this how you describe mutation?
No. What I'm talking about is how
Describe
these.
what is a mutation.
Okay, so these things become randomized.
No, what
because-
is a mutation?
These things become randomized because somatic hypermutation is a process by which, when a sperm and an egg create, the genetic material is randomized to create natural diversity, which is why your kid doesn't look exactly like you. That's
What
why
is a
their kids-
mutation?
A mutation is when something is different. It's when something changes. And what I'm describing is a change that happens
Slow
when
down.
an egg and a sperm connect.
Slow
They
down.
have diversity. The kid's
When
not
you
exactly like you
have
for that reason.
when you have chromosomes,
Yeah.
the crossover, they exchange genetic material.
Yes.
They follow a particular program, which is already there within the genes. How should DNA replicate? How should DNA unwind? And you will have the RNA, you
You have the
messenger-
DNA helicase and all the bits.
Good. So it's following a particular program.
yes.
It's all programmed there.
Yes, it's all
And
programmed.
mutation is
The
what?
mutation is programmed in it. There is mutation specifically programmed in it.
Mutation is
Yes,
programmed in
it's
it.
programmed specifically into our DNA. That's how you get things like genetic diseases. That's how you get things where the genetic...
Mutation is programmed in
It's
it.
exactly programmed into it. Randomization of our genes is called diversity. It's part of us.
Wait. So mutation is programmed in our genes.
Yes.
So mutation is not just something going wrong.
No,
through
it's not.
accident.
It's absolutely
So
not.
it's a program itself.
Yes.
Something
It's a
that I
tool
learned
we
today.
use.
You know what?
Yeah.
Something.
that's fine.
No. Something I learned. So I should be able to check that in any
Please,
textbook,
look,
right?
I'll look up on my phone for you
Go
right
ahead.
now.
Right,
Yeah, absolutely.
Mutation is programmed in our genes.
Yeah, I'm going to look up for you somatic hypermutation.
No. Look up mutation. I'm interested in mutation.
Okay, dude. Whatever you say. Look, somatic hypermutation
No, mutation.
is a cellular mechanism by which the immune system adapts to new foreign elements that confront
look up
it in its class
mutation.
switching. So what I was telling you about
Look
blood...
up mutation.
He's
And
right
see.
about that, by the way. I'm a scientist. I did genetics.
Dude, please, stop
Is
trying to
mutation
stop trying to
already
redefine my
programmed
point. I never
on your
said mutation.
genes?
I said
What this brother said.
No, excuse me, my brother.
I don't know the full thing, but what he said is a fact.
Excuse me.
no, it's a somatic hypermutation.
Yes, I'm a
It's
scientist.
a real scientific thing.
So am I.
Okay, but I actually
Good.
practice science. I did genetics degree.
Good.
And he's right.
Good.
Yeah, I just want to say
What is a
that as fact.
mutation? What is a mutation?
Oh my God, dude,
Now,
can you
he's
stop
got a
with this?
genetics degree.
Why can't- why-
Excuse me, what is a mutation?
I'm not going to define something. You said you're a scientist. You know what a
No.
mutation is.
Please, can I ask you a question?
Can you answer the
Excuse me.
But I want to ask him a
Excuse me.
question.
I may even be
He's
with
always
you in
asking me
debate.
questions. I should be able to ask him a question.
But
I would
I have to be
simply,
truthful. I
I'm
have to be
simply.
truthful.
Let me ask you one question and then I'll leave it.
I did not say yes, no, anything or question about.
Obviously you didn't. What a
So, but
politician.
I'm simply questioning the very basis
Okay.
of genetic variability.
Can
and
I let this
variation.
slide and ask a new question?
Before you
fine.
do that,
It's a complex issue.
mutation, is it programmed in our genes?
There are, as he said, there is mechanisms where it can be, yes.
Yes.
So, in our genes, it's all programmed to have mutations.
Yes.
Don't worry, move beyond this point.
Can I ask? No, it is.
As
it
a
is. But-
geneticist
yeah.
yourself, our genes, there's a program to have mutations.
You're oversimplifying massively, but yeah.
Yeah?
Can I ask you a question? I really want to ask a question,
Yeah, go
please,
ahead.
and I'll let it go. I know
I
I've been
may even be
frustrating.
with you, by
No,
the
no,
way, but
I
I'm saying
yeah,
I
exactly.
just want to
I know I've been a bit difficult and a bit
Because I
passionate
know
about this
from a
thing.
geneticist,
Yeah.
programs,
But let me
mutations
just
are programmed in our
let me just ask
genes.
this one question, okay?
It is a big deal.
Look, I have conversations like this about big questions all the time, okay? Everyone likes to talk about this stuff. Ideas are beautiful to focus on, much better than people, right? So sometimes what happens is we go down this chain of like, people ask, what happens before evolution? And what happens before that? And what happens before that? And ultimately, you're going to get to a question I can't answer, right? Like, where did the universe come from? Because I'm not going to tell you there's no answer to that question, okay? I don't know,
Can
right?
evolution answer the question?
No, evolution is a part that comes later, but I don't know where the universe came from.
That's why evolution is a red herring.
I want to ask you something. If I don't know where the universe came from, and I'm willing to accept that I don't know, and scary as it might be, say, I've got no idea. Like, maybe we'll find out, okay? Maybe we'll be able to answer that question when we have more, ways to see. But right now, I don't know. So why are you so determined to say that you do know? Why can't we just not know? Why can't we just look around and stuff that seems practical, accept it, and stuff that other people are just telling us and can't prove, we say probably not.
Listen, if God tells us something about reality, are you still going to question it? Oh, I don't want to know, I don't know. No one knows. God doesn't know either. Is that what you're going to say?
God.
I really have to go, actually. I appreciate it. I just want to ask that question.
Do you follow this? If God tells us about the reality, we accept it.
No, I don't follow it.
Yeah, so God doesn't know?
No, I don't follow it because I've never had a message from God. No one's ever spoken to me. So I might lack the tools to see it. You might see something I don't, but I'll be honest with you, this is all I can see. And I'm happy with it. It's good enough for me.
So you're basically saying God has to speak to you to believe in him, right?
No, I'm saying that anything wants to be believed, it should prove itself in some way. But look, I really do have to go, man. I appreciate it.
I know you have to
Take
go.
care.